How many rolls of toilet paper do you think a single person uses in a year? Well, let me shock you. In the United States, the average is around 141 rolls, adding up to more than 7 billion rolls sold annually. That's part of a global industry worth over $100 billion. But behind every one of those rolls is a fascinating factory process that will fascinate you. And well, we will cover all that just here at the Process World. Toilet paper feels like an everyday item, yet its story stretches back over 1,000 years. In China, records from the 6th century show paper being used for hygiene, and by the 14th century, production was booming. One province alone turned out around 10 million packages each year, while the emperor's family received special perfumed sheets. For centuries, though, it was a luxury reserved for the elite. The first commercial step came in 1857 in the United States when Joseph Gaiety sold Gaiety's medicated paper. These were flat sheets treated with aloe, sold in packs with his name printed on every sheet. Then, in the 1890s, the Scott Paper Company revolutionized things by putting toilet paper on rolls with perforations, making it easy to tear cleanly. By 1930, splinter-free tissue finally made the product more comfortable and suitable for the masses. From there, the race was on. Companies focused on softness, strength, and clever packaging. But how do they do it? From the forest to the packaging? Well, before we continue, please leave a like and subscribe for more amazing videos like this one. Now moving on. Every roll of toilet paper begins with the same foundation: fiber. The main source is wood, specifically the trunks that aren't straight or strong enough to be turned into furniture. These logs are collected using massive timber harvesters, machines that can fell a tree, strip its branches, and cut it into sections in under a minute. They provide a steady stream of material for paper mills around the world. Recycled paper is the second key source. Old newspapers, office paper, and discarded packaging are gathered in huge quantities and sorted in specialized facilities. High-tech systems separate out plastics, cardboard, and other waste, leaving behind only usable fibers. Once cleaned and prepared, this recycled material is ready to join the production process alongside virgin wood. Together, these two sources, fresh wood from forests and recycled paper from cities, provide the essential fibers that will be broken down into pulp, the true starting point of every sheet of toilet paper. Once the raw material reaches the mill, the focus shifts to preparation. The process begins with debarking drums, huge rotating cylinders that strip away the outer bark while preserving as much usable wood as possible, since only the clean inner fibers can be turned into pulp. After that, the logs head into a washing system, where water jets remove dirt, sand, and stones that may have clung to the trunks during transport. Even small particles can cause problems later in the process, so everything has to be cleaned thoroughly. To add another layer of protection, the wood is scanned by metal detectors. If a stray nail or piece of wire made its way into the load, this system catches it before it can damage the expensive machinery further down the line. Once the logs are clean and safe, they move to the wood chipper. This is a massive machine fitted with sharp, rotating knives. The trunks are fed through and sliced into small, uniform chips. Consistency is key here. Chips that are too big or too small won't cook evenly when it's time to break them down into pulp. These chips then travel along conveyor belts into large stockpiles, ready to enter the next stage of the process. With mountains of wood chips ready, the real transformation begins inside massive industrial tanks called digesters. These tanks cook the chips for several hours at high temperatures using a mix of chemicals. The heat and chemistry work together to break down lignin, the natural glue that holds wood fibers together. Once that bond is dissolved, the fibers separate into a soft, workable material known as pulp. From a 25-ton batch of chips, about 15 tons of usable pulp are produced, while the rest is moisture and byproducts. Recycling adds another stream of pulp into the process. Instead of wood, this line starts with old newspapers, office paper, and cardboard. Large sorting machines separate usable material from plastics and debris using sensors and bursts of air. Once the right paper is isolated, it's shredded, washed, and passed through multiple cleaning stations. Centrifuges spin out heavy contaminants like sand or splinters, and a special soap treatment lifts ink particles from the fibers. What's left is a thick, sludge-like pulp that's bleached and diluted until it's clean enough to enter the paper-making stage. Both sources, virgin wood and recycled paper, end up at the same point: streams of fresh pulp ready to be turned into tissue in the paper machine. This giant structure stretches over 100 meters in length, and its job is to transform watery pulp into continuous sheets of paper at incredible speed. The process starts at the fourdrinier wire, a moving mesh belt where the pulp slurry, made of about 99% water and 1% fiber, is evenly spread out. As it travels across the mesh, water drains away, leaving behind a thin layer of fibers that begin to bond together. To speed things up, powerful vacuum boxes pull out even more water, slowly turning the pulp into a fragile sheet. Next, the sheet moves into the press section. Here, it's squeezed between heavy rollers to remove additional moisture and compress the fibers, making the paper stronger. Even after pressing, the sheet is still damp, so it continues on to the drying section. Dozens of heated rollers evaporate the remaining water, leaving the sheet dry, light, and flexible. To smooth out any creases, ironing rollers press the sheet flat before it winds onto a massive drying cylinder called the Yankee dryer. At this stage, the paper undergoes creeping, where a sharp blade scrapes it off the dryer's surface. Creeping is what gives toilet paper its softness, stretch, and slightly crinkled texture. The result is a continuous paper web that can run at speeds over a mile per minute, moving so fast that it only takes about 7 seconds to complete this entire transformation. By the end of this journey, what started as pulp has become giant, seamless sheets of tissue. These are then wound into enormous bulk rolls known as jumbo reels, each weighing several tons and holding miles of paper in a single spool. The reels act as a bridge in production, storing huge amounts of tissue so the machines can run non-stop before moving into the next stage, where they'll be cut and shaped into the toilet rolls we see stacked in every store. The reels are first unwound, and multiple sheets are layered together to create different plies. 2-ply, 3-ply, or even thicker products all start here, where layers of tissue are stacked to strike the right balance of softness and strength. From there, the paper goes through embossing rollers. These rollers press patterns into the tissue, creating the dotted or floral textures you see on store-bought rolls. It's not just for looks. The embossing adds air pockets that make the paper feel softer and absorb more efficiently. Next comes the step where the paper is perforated. Blades press tiny, evenly spaced cuts across the sheets, giving rolls those neat tear-off lines. Without this process, rolls would just be long, continuous ribbons of tissue with no easy way to separate sheets. Once the paper is prepared, it's rewound onto cardboard cores. These are the familiar brown tubes that sit in the middle of every roll. The machine keeps feeding paper onto cores until large logs of tissue are formed. Each log looks like an oversized toilet roll, several feet long, and from here, high-speed saws slice them into smaller rolls of standard household size. At the end, the product has gone from giant industrial reels to the rolls we see every day, complete with layers, patterns, perforations, and cores ready for packaging. But before toilet paper reaches store shelves, it goes through strict quality checks to guarantee consistency and comfort. You see, technicians monitor the pulp closely, controlling chemicals and cooking temperatures to ensure the fibers are prepared correctly. Once sheets are formed, samples are tested for moisture, strength, stretch, opacity, and color, making sure the paper looks clean and performs as expected. Softness is also evaluated, sometimes with machines and sometimes by human testers, to strike the right balance between comfort and durability. Many companies even manage their own tree farms to secure steady, reliable raw materials. By the time a roll is approved, it has passed multiple layers of inspection, ensuring that every package a customer buys delivers the same dependable quality. Once toilet paper rolls pass all the quality checks, it's time to prepare them for the shelves. The first step is wrapping. Each roll or group of rolls is sealed in a protective layer, traditionally plastic film, though some manufacturers are now shifting toward recyclable paper-based wraps to reduce environmental impact. This wrapping keeps the rolls clean, dry, and safe during transport. In the Gulf, brands are shifting toward eco-conscious packaging, like recyclable paper wraps, responding to rising demand for sustainable products across the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and beyond. From there, the rolls are grouped into packs of different sizes. Smaller bundles might contain 4 or 6 rolls for quick household use, while larger packs of 12, 24, or even more are designed for families and bulk buyers. The packaging also carries bright branding, labels, and information about the product, whether it's extra soft, ultra strong, or eco-friendly. Once wrapped, the packs move down conveyor belts to the boxing stage. Here, they're loaded into sturdy corrugated cartons that protect them during long journeys from the factory to distribution centers. These cartons are then stacked onto pallets, shrink-wrapped tightly, and prepared for shipping. Finally, fleets of trucks and shipping containers move the finished product out to retailers worldwide. Whether it's a corner store or a supermarket chain, every roll goes through this tightly organized system to reach customers in perfect condition, and that's it. Now to you, if this is how toilet paper is made, what do you think the process looks like for something like toothpaste, soap, or even your toothbrush? Check out our channel for more crazy, fascinating processes. As you leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this one.